Edsel Ford once stated that his father made the most popular car in the world. So Edsel set out to make the best car in the world. This is the story of the Lincoln Continental.
You've got your standards. Everything you do has to meet them. You won't compromise. Lincoln Continental hasn't compromised. Full-sized, full luxury, it sets a high standard for luxury cars.
While Ford Motor Company was known more for dependable transportation and the power of the V8 engine than stylistic automobile design, Edsel wanted Lincoln to be different.
The Lincoln cars for 1941. 3 new lines of luxurious motor cars, outstanding achievements of superior craftsmanship and engineering. The Lincoln-Zephyr, now available with custom interiors.
On October 2nd, an assembly line was set up to begin the manufacturing of the Lincoln-Zephyr Continental. By the end of 1939, 25 had been produced and were designated 1940 models.
Now here's the car that's lighting the way in the flying car field. And the dramatically different look of Lincoln's quadrilight grille, and all the way down a long, low, lovely line.
The second generation ran from 1956 through 1957. After an 8-year hiatus for the 1956 model year, the Continental nameplate made its return. To launch the vehicle, Ford created a namesake Continental division centered around its new flagship vehicle. At its 1956 launch, the Continental Mark II was the most expensive automobile sold by a domestic manufacturer in the United States, rivaling the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. At $10,000, which is about $115,000 in 2024 dollars, the Mark II cost nearly the same as 5 Ford Customlines. Now that is expensive. With a large number of power equipment features included, the Mark II was offered only with a single option, and that was air conditioning, priced at about $595, which is a whopping $6,800 in 2024 dollars.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate in distinctive motoring. For this is the famous Lincoln Continental in its newest and most luxurious form.
The third generation of the Continental was produced from 1958 to 1960. If you ask me, I think the second generation looked much better and more stylish than this third generation. Hey, what do you think? Leave us your comments below. We want to know. Interesting note, though, to facilitate continuation of the Continental model line, the division was forced to abandon, hand-built construction. For 1958, Continental released the Mark III in 4 body styles, including a 2-door hardtop and convertible, a 4-door pillared sedan, and a 4-door hardtop sedan called the Landau. The Mark III became the first Ford Motor Company vehicle to offer an FM radio tuner. It was a rarely ordered option, considering most radio stations were AM radio. For 1959, the Mark IV was released. The Mark IV eliminated the Dagmars from the bumpers. Dagmars, by the way, were intended to both convey the image of a speeding projectile and protect vehicles from front-end collisions. The similarity of these features to then the popular Bullet Bra was inescapable. The grille is restyled slightly, with the headlight cluster now integrated into the egg crate grille. For 1960, the Continental Mark V saw another styling update, with flatter front bumpers and, again, with Dagmars.
Enter the world of Continental quality. Every 1961 Lincoln Continental carries a dealer's warranty of 2 full years or 24,000 miles, whichever occurs first.
The fourth generation of the Continental ran from 1961 through 1969. For the first time in a car manufactured in the U.S., the Lincoln Continental, well, it was sold with a whopping 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty. That's 39,000 kilometers for you all who use the, metric system. For 1963, the Continental underwent several functional updates. The front seat backs were modified in an effort to increase rear seat legroom. To increase luggage space, the trunk lid was reshaped. For 1965, Lincoln made additional updates to the Continental. As part of the redesign, the front turn signals and parking lights are moved from the front bumpers to wraparound lenses on the front fenders, with similar parking lights/turn signals on the rear. All 4 lights received metal trim to match the horizontal lines of the new grille.
For 1979, each Mark V designer has expressed his personality in his own Mark V, the Bill Blass edition, as sleek as
Continental's fifth generation ran from 1970 through 1979. Building on the success of the Mark III introduced the year before, Lincoln sought to modernize the Continental for the 1970s after a 9-year production run. For the first time since 1967, the Continental was equipped with a hood ornament.
Discover the downsized 1980 Continental Mark VI, shorter than last year by 14 inches, lighter by 675 pounds, with a 41% improvement in gasoline mileage ratings. No Cadillac V6 or 8-cylinder engine gets better gasoline mileage.
Hey, you know, the 6th generation Continental was a 1980 only. The 1980 was actually a Lincoln town car with the Continental badging. You know, while lagging behind Cadillac for 3 years to downsize its model range, the redesign of the Continental, it provided Lincoln with the best year-to-year fuel economy improvement in Ford's history.
It wasn't quite what these experts expected. It's the new Continental Mark VII.
The 7th generation was from 1982 through 1987. You know, in my opinion, this was a funky generation for Continental. I really didn't like it. Developed to compete with the Cadillac Seville, the 1982 Lincoln Continental, it shared the distinguishing styling features of a sloping bustle back deck lid. And didn't like it. The interior underwent an update alongside adopting the digital instrument panel of the Mark VII. New seats were introduced along with new real wood trim and an overhead console. For 1985, Lincoln added a hands-free mobile phone as an option at $3,135, which was an expensive option, and it was only offered for the single model year, which was 1985. For 1987, the real wood trim of the interior, it was retired in favor of imitation wood. Shame on you, Lincoln. The 8th generation of the Continental was between 1988 and 1994. You know, by the late 1980s, the luxury segment in which the Continental competed had changed drastically from a decade before. In addition to traditional competitors, Cadillac and Chrysler, the Continental now competed against Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. In October of 1988, for the 1989 model year, a redesigned dashboard was introduced to accommodate dual airbags. This unprecedented move made the Ford Motor Company the first U.S. automaker to offer, airbags standard equipment for both driver and front passenger.
The all-new Lincoln Continental is so technologically advanced, you control it with the press of a button.
The 9th generation was between 1995 and 2002. The Continental was updated again in late 1997 for 1998 with redesigned front and rear end styling. Between the 2000 and 2000 model years, changes to the Continental, well, they remained relatively minor as production of the model eventually came to an end. But wait, there's more. In the fall of 2016, after a 14-year hiatus, the 10th generation Continental went on sale. And, well, it was a good attempt, but production of the Continental ended on October the 30th of 2020 with no immediate plans for a replacement in the full-size sedan segment. Hey, well, there you have it, the history of the Lincoln Continental. Which model year did you like the most? Did you or your family own a Continental? If you did, leave us your comments below. We want to know. And as always, hey, thanks to all of our subscribers who support the channel. If you are not a subscriber, can you do us a favor by hitting that subscribe button? We'd really appreciate it. Hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. This is Michael J. with This Old Car. We will catch you later.